Welcome in, everybody, to another episode of 410 Sports Talk. I'm James Haskell, along with my co-host Glenn Martin and DK in the background. As always, it is Friday night. We're here to preview our Baltimore Ravens against the Kansas City Chiefs. Big game, of course, only 4 weeks in. We're going to be breaking it down for you, giving you the things to look out for, opportunities the Ravens to take advantage of, concerns, injuries, everything that has to do with this game. So hopefully you enjoy it. But before we do, let's dig into... I guess we're not going to go to injuries. We're going to talk about who one of our sponsors, faithful sponsors at this point of the show is, Glenn. Who we got?
Yeah, absolutely. This episode is brought to you by ZipRecruiter. And anyone who's ever been tasked with the duty of hiring someone new to whatever business you might be, you can understand the difficulty, right? Like you're constantly sitting around waiting for the perfect candidate. You're going through stacks of resumes, and oftentimes you don't find the one you're looking for until it takes weeks. It can take weeks to get one. Well, the future of hiring looks much brighter because ZipRecruiter's latest tools and features help speed up finding the right people for your roles so you can save valuable time. And now you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/audio. With ZipRecruiter's new advances, you can easily find the right person for the role you're looking for. You can find a qualified match within minutes, and if you see a candidate you're interested in, you can unlock their contact info instantly. No wonder ZipRecruiter is the #1 hiring-related site at ZipRecruiter.com/audio. Using ZipRecruiter saves time hiring. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. And if you go to ZipRecruiter.com/audio right now, you can try it for free. Again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/audio. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire, Jimbo.
Let's go. And the Ravens are, we've talked about this before, constantly hiring, constantly turning over leaves, looking at new candidates. So I think it's appropriate to talk about injuries and any sort of transaction stuff we got going on out there. Yeah. Glenn, what's going on in the world of injuries and transactions, man?
Yeah, we'll start with injuries, but I do think the transaction wire is pretty interesting this week for the Ravens. Maybe a sign of some things to come in the future here. But as you can see on the top, we'll start with the good guys here. And look, this week started off not good, Jimbo. We're talking key player after key player, specifically in the trenches. We're not participating, as you can see on the screen there. Wednesday and Thursday, it was looking quite bleak for the Ravens trenches. However, some good news came today as we got the return of some key contributors. So first and foremost, after missing Wednesday practice, Travis Jones got back to practicing in limited fashion Thursday and Friday. His status is questionable. Isaiah Likely, after practicing all last week in a limited fashion, he got in his first full practice today after limited participation Wednesday and Thursday. He's questionable, but looks like he's going to finally see his first action of 2025. Nnamdi Madubuike remains out with the neck injury, but I will say, when we heard from Zach Orr, he made it sound less like it would be like a career ending. He made it sound, while he said he's going through a lot, he didn't make it sound like it was, something that he went through where it could end his career. So hopefully, that means that it's not as bad as we were all worried that it could be, and that maybe Nnamdi's just out for a short period of time, but not, season ending or career ending like some were guessing on Twitter. Pat Ricard remains out. He said, John Harbaugh said he's still in rehab mode when asked about Pat Ricard. So it's still a calf. And somebody in our comments did mention that they've had frequent calf injuries, or at least a couple, and it's a 2 to 3 month process for them. So maybe we're incorrect saying it's an Achilles. We could very well be, but we certainly always get nervous with that type of injury. And then maybe the biggest news and biggest surprise in a good direction is Kyle Van Noy returning to practice in limited fashion, albeit after the hamstring injury. So I would say his status for the game very much so remains questionable. But the fact that he's back on the field today at least gives some hope for the future, because, boy, did we see without him. I mean, look, Mike Green's a heck of a player, but he's a rookie for a reason, and it would be really nice to have his snaps cut down a little bit, and maybe he can have a little more energy for the pass rush snaps. But then Broderick Washington already ruled out for the game. So even though they got some good news and got some guys back, Jimmy, they're still missing a ton of key contributors.
Yeah, it's a real bummer. I mean, like you said, there's some positivity and it seems like it's heading in the right direction. But I'm most nervous. I kind of mentioned this pregame or before we start the show. I'm most nervous about the Ronnie injury.
Yep.
Um, and
Oh, did I pass right over Ronnie?
I don't think so. Either way, I mean, we
Either way.
saw it on the screen. So
Yeah.
for those who weren't on the screen, Ronnie Stanley, of course, is limited. But I am most concerned about that. I know that, of course, Namdi should be up there as well, but I'm certainly concerned about Ronnie Stanley, and also being that it's the ankle. Do we know if it's the same ankle?
Oof. I would assume, but I
Me
hope
too.
not.
Me too.
And then, of course, if Ronnie's not out there, we will see the first of Joseph Noteboom, who was new to the team after spending his first 7 years in LA with the Rams. But
Who was
I know
horrendous
you
in the
heard
last game in limited snaps.
Yeah. Now you heard I can't remember who you said you heard mention it, but basically,
Yeah, Vinny Serrano said.
okay.
Yeah, Vinny said on the radio. He said that the only delta between the only delta as large as Ronnie, the difference between Ronnie and Noteboom is the difference between Lamar and Cooper Rush. So like outside of Lamar and Cooper Rush, that difference in talent, that drop off, right next to that is Ronnie and Noteboom.
Yeah, so massive loss it would be if he's not out there. And also let's remember that even with him out there, this group isn't playing their best and just gave up 30 pressures to the Lions. Now, some of that was on, the receivers not uncovering, forcing Lamar to have to hold the ball longer. So it wasn't all 30 were kind of credited to the fault of the offensive line, but you don't get to 30 without a whole lot being wrong with the offensive line. I think that's fair to say. And it would only be worse if Ronnie's not out there. So let's hope he gets out there, because if not, oh my gosh, it's going to be a long day. Kansas City Chiefs, they have some injury issues too, but most of theirs seem to be surface level and not really at much risk of missing. In fact, Andy Reid was asked about it. He said every member on the active roster participated in Thursday's practice. So they are obviously much healthier than us. You can see they got a long list here, but a lot of it's just bumps and bruises, and most of these on the list are full participants in practice. So definitely the healthier team. There's no doubt about it. The Chiefs have come out in the first 3 weeks and been a little bit luckier, I would say, than the Ravens when it comes to the injuries.
Yeah, well, good for the Chiefs.
That's right. Yay.
Yeah, exactly. Well, talk about transactions, Glenn. 'Cause like you said, I think there's some interesting notes here. There's some things going on.
Yeah, so Ravens fans have been asking for some competition at guard, and we might finally be getting it here, as the Ravens did have a tryout today. A former first-round pick of the Houston Texans in 2022, Kenyon Green, was brought in today for a tryout. So I guess there is a possibility that we could see some competition at right guard and maybe even at left guard. I know that I think he was more of a right guard than left, but hey, you never know. At this point, I'm sure that Kenyon Green's willing to play anywhere if you're giving him a job. But then I think the more interesting and kind of puzzling thing is right the next sentence there. They also brought in former Oklahoma punter Luke Elzinga for a tryout. And while at first I'm thinking, well, honestly, I've been happy what we've been seeing from Stout. I think he's had some really nice punts, pinning guys deep and kicking them, pretty far. But Jimbo, you had kind of a thought as to why they might be bringing another punter in.
Yeah, I think that it could be surrounding the lack of success that Lupe has had kicking the ball off. I don't know. Maybe they're kind of done with him kicking the ball off, or that's the only thing that came to my mind as to why. Just like you said, it was pretty puzzling, and then I was like, this could be it. But I want to go back to the other one, because you kind of talked about this pregame show too. Is this a sign that the Ravens are finally ready to admit that they can do better than Falele and or Cleveland playing guard next to Tyler Linderbaum? Is this a positive sign for you? You happy to see this?
I think it's a positive sign in that direction, but what I think it might be a negative sign, Jimbo. I don't know if I haven't heard anything. So if you guys have heard something, tell me. But this makes me a little worried about maybe Emery. Like, what's Emery looking like right now? Is that shoulder worse off? And they're like, we ain't getting him. He ain't coming back. I don't know. I hope I'm wrong, and you guys can tell me in the chat if we've heard anything about Emery Jones. But I worry that this is not just a sign of, okay, we're not happy with what we have currently, but also we don't have anyone coming on the horizon like we thought with Emery Jones. That has me worried. But I did see some clips, man. Dude, Ben Cleveland. Did you see the clip? I think I shared it in the group chat.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, bro. What the hell was that? It looked like he was running down a slip and slide and just dove onto his own belly. It did not look at all like his eyes were even open. It looked
Field came up on him a little too quick, didn't it?
It tripped his ass. But either way, it's at least good because look, he's got talent, former first-round pick. Now he's a free agent for a reason, but I think the talent's got to be there, or he wouldn't have been a 2022 first-round pick just 3 years ago. It's not like it's 10 years ago. So hey, we'll see what happens, but at least the Ravens are kicking the tires on somebody.
Yeah. I think, like you said, I didn't think initially about the Emery thing. Like, does this mean it's basically just over? But I do like that they're finally starting to kick the tires.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now, and the whole
kickoff. Tell you something in full disclosure.
Okay.
My wife just texted me and asked if I would get my son off the toilet from pooping.
Oh. Okay.
I told her I'm in the show. Should I go?
Go ahead.
She'll gag.
I'll hold it down. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Gotcha.
Give me a sec.
All right, cool. Well, look, I'm going to get things started when it comes to this matchup. And, of course, we always start on the offensive side of the ball for the Ravens and what they're going to be facing heading up against this defense. So I'm going to at least go over some of their key defensive players while Jimmy takes care of business there with his son. So I'm going to throw up their depth chart or their let's see. This is their stats. Okay, so this is their leading stat categories here. And right now we have it loaded for tackles, and it's no shock there. Nick Bolton, he's their leading tackler, and he's one of the best linebackers in football. He can run. He's an absolute tackling machine. He can take on blocks. This guy is an absolute stud. He's going to be someone to deal with. Drew Tranquill's right next to him. They're one of the best 1-2 punches at linebacker in all of football. He's got 2 sacks already on the season. Again, can run, can tackle. Those two are going to be a problem, especially if the Ravens offensive line isn't able to get to the next level. It's going to be scary. Karlaftis here, high motor guy, super strong, could give some problems, especially if Noteboom's out there, could give him some serious problems. And I think he could give Rodgers some problems because he's got a good power move. He's a strong guy, and he plays his ass off, which, guys who play with a high motor tend to run into statistics. I think that's probably why. I mean, look where he's at. He's essentially a defensive end. He's an outside linebacker, and he's got 16 tackles. I mean, that tells you the guy's got a high motor. He's everywhere. He's also got 2 sacks on the season. Trent McDuffie, talented corner. He's going to be something that Zay's going to have to deal with. There's no doubt about it. This guy. Thing about their corners they're going to get right up in your face. They're going to press you at the line of scrimmage. They're going to challenge you to beat them and beat them quickly. And if you don't, then that pass rush is probably going to get to your quarterback. And especially, after what we saw last week, we don't need to see Lamar scraping himself off the ground any more than we already did last week. It was a problem. I don't have to tell you guys. You guys know Chris Jones, probably the best defensive tackle in football, best interior defensive player probably in football. He's an absolute stud. He's got 1 sack on the season so far, but believe me, this guy is an absolute problem. And the thing about Chris Jones is when he wants to turn it on, if it's a big time play, he can just take it to a different level. He's that good where he can go up to that next level. And so if it's a big 3rd down, big 4th down, man, you better know where Chris Jones is on those plays for sure, because he can absolutely wreck the game. Let's see here. Christian Fulton, okay, he's okay. I don't even know. Yeah, if there's any other names I should really announce here, look, they got a pretty good defense. We know that Spagnuolo is their coordinator. This guy, he always elevates his game in home games and in the playoffs. And usually those two are one and the same in the playoffs. They tend to be playing all their home games or their playoff games at home. And they tend to kind of ratchet it up in that environment. And it makes sense with that volume of crowd. It makes a whole lot of sense that they'd be even better at home. Tavon Nelson has a super chat here. He says, would you guys give up a 1st or 2nd round pick for a player like Jeffrey Simmons or Quinnen Williams? Man, it'd be tempting, man. I tell you, I would. if I could pick anyone, I'd want Calais Campbell to come back. You know, the way he's playing right now, he's playing his ass off. I think because of his age, you get a little bit of a discount. He's also on a team that looks to be, I mean, I guess right now it's hard to call any team out of it. And they did, I think, just have a big, did they just have a big win? I think they did. I think Marvin Harrison Jr. caught a late touchdown, right? Am I right? Yeah. So, I mean, look, I wouldn't mind. Look, I'm fine with us giving them a second round pick. Look at our record and our history in second round. It hasn't been great. So if they feel like that could stop the bleeding of our run defense and they could kind of hold down the fort until Nnamdi hopefully gets back at some point, then I'd guess I'd be okay with a second, but I'd rather it be a third. I will say that. What's going on? What's going on, Coach? Coach is in the chat. Appreciate you joining us. Jimbo?
What's
up?
Right?
You okay?
Oh yeah. Excuse me. Whew.
Okay. All right. Well, look, good news is I was just going over some of their problems on the defensive side of the ball and who we have to deal with here. Yeah. Well, they got a couple players. They got a couple guys.
Sure.
But yeah, anyway, if you want to,
my overall synopsis of their defense is just that they have talent in each layer of their defense. I just feel like they lack depth, like that positionally, not positionally, like position group wise, like they're top heavy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I just feel like it's more noticeable than this year. Didn't they have another corner that they didn't pay?
Yeah. L'Jarius Sneed.
Yeah. Sneed. Right. And I feel like that's pretty noticeable.
Yeah. I mean, I think they got two good corners and then, it's a drop off and their safeties they're good, but they're not excellent. They're not great, but they got two good linebackers, Jimbo.
They do.
Freaking guys can tackle, bro. They can run and they can tackle. And then they got Spags, who, I mean, there's not many guys who've been doing it longer than Steve Spagnuolo. Right. But what do you think about the Ravens? Like, what's your key matchup? What do you think?
Their defense versus our offense. I think it's really they're giving up 114 a game rushing, and so it's got to be Derrick Henry and our offense with an opportunity to get their mojo back. That's the way that I see it here. Derrick Henry historically has had success against the Chiefs here or otherwise. And so this is an opportunity for them. They have to look at it this way. And not only get their mojo back, but if they have any, I don't want to give away too much yet, but I want to see this in the fourth quarter. I want to see this is the way that they close this game out.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, the thing is they have one win and it's over a Giants team. Like it's not like they're the most impressive. And I think you're right, Jimbo, in calling out their run defense, because the way I look at it is if Cam Scatterbo, the rookie bruising running back, can come in and run the ball against this defense, 10 carries, 60 yards, and a touchdown. And then on top of that, caught 6 passes out of the backfield for another 60 yards. Like, I got to think that the Ravens can get something done. My concern is, Jimbo, it's a 2-layer question. Do you ever get worried that that there's going to be some mental block with Derrick Henry and these fumbles? Like, could he get the yips? Could he develop the yips of fumbling? And then what are we going to see? What would his reaction be if he fumbles again, especially in the fourth quarter in our own territory?
Yeah. I mean, his reaction, I think he would just glitch.
Just wig out.
Yeah, come out, he would just remove himself from his body. You know what I mean? And start seeing things in third person. I do get concerned. Take the sleeves off, Derek.
Please. At least, both of them. You don't need them.
Yeah. Right, dude. Just do the Jamal Lewis, if you're that worried about it. It looks cool, but we want to hold on to the football.
Yeah, and it's super slippery. Sleeves are slippery.
Yeah, take the sleeves off, but so I am slightly concerned. However, I will say that I think of guys with mental fortitude, there aren't too many better than Derrick Henry when it comes to football. So I think he'll be okay. I still am very much optimistic about it.
Yeah, I me too. I just worry, man, if he has another one, what that might do to him, mentally. I worry about that a little bit, but To me, I think the biggest matchup is going to be on the outside. When I mentioned earlier when you were gone, their corners, they do it about against everybody, so they're certainly going to do it after the recent game plan has been kind of shown to work against us. And that is they're gonna get right up in our receivers' faces. They're going to hit them. They're going to disrupt the timing. They're going to try and give their defensive front time to disrupt Lamar Jackson and get him on the ground. So I think the big matchup is, look, I don't want to see Zay Flowers with another nothing burger of a game, okay? I want to see Zay Flowers make sure, look, I'm a number one. You don't see number ones just vanish for periods of time. So I want to see our guys, specifically Rashad Bateman and Zay Flowers, show out on the outside, beat them off the line quickly, get open fast, because I think Lamar's not going to have a ton of time to throw the ball. And look, that same goes to everyone, but I have higher expectations for those two. But look, if Tez is out there, I expect Tez to do well as well. I hope they continue to expand his role, because I think every time we see him, he just makes plays. So, but that's where my matchup is. Now, I hope the run game gets going. I think it's important, but I do think they're going to put a lot in the box and they're going to challenge us on the outside. And once again, can we win one-on-one matchups with our wide receivers, make them pay, and create big plays? That to me is where it comes down to. And man, I know that everyone says we can't play Keaton Mitchell. I know it. I've heard it. They say you can't play him because he can't pass block and Rasheen Ali's better on teams. Okay. Well, the problem I have is I think we need a little extra juice in the backfield. And I would love to see somehow Keaton Mitchell get a couple carries. I don't think it's going to happen. I think he's going to remain inactive. But I do think the backfield is missing some speed, some juice to get to the outside when they decide to load these boxes. And I know, look, they're going to key on them. Coach told me. But I, again, think you may be able to use that to your advantage and use that against them. I think so. But I think I'm just speaking to dead air because Keaton's not going to be active anyway.
Yeah, you are. I hate it too, Glenn. I hate it too. But I can't disagree with your last comment for sure that yeah, speaking to dead air, if that's the saying.
I made it up. If it is.
I like it. Yeah, all right. Well, let's switch to the other side of the coin here, dude. Let's talk about this vaunted Kansas City offense versus the scary Ravens defense. Right. Well, let me ask you this off the bat, Glenn. Based on what you know about this Ravens defense, and I mean the Chiefs offense is not scary this year. Like, they seemingly have lost their bite. Their rushing attack is putrid. I mean, Hollywood Brown looks like a shell of what Hollywood Brown was. I mean, he had like a decent first game, but
he looks like Hollywood has always looked.
Yeah,
I feel like no yak ever.
Yeah, none ever.
And we dealt with the same shit here. We would go crazy, like, bro. Even if he catches it, he's going right down. He's giving you zero. And if someone just gets a mitt on him, just a fingertip, they're going to drag his ass right to the dirt. Like, it's crazy. Like, he has no play strength. He has no yak ability. And I'm going to throw this up now. Jimbo, this is insane to me. Look at their stats. Like, is this the Chiefs? Like, is this really? I mean, look at Pat Mahomes is not even completing 60% of his passes, Jimbo.
Ooh.
That is so bad. 60's like the bare minimum for a rookie starting quarterback to be. But mind you, Lamar Jackson's 72%. Like, he's at 59%, Jimbo. That is just absolutely terrible. And then,
is he their leading rusher?
He is their. I was getting ready to get to that, but also on top of that, 83 quarterback rating. Again, Lamar is 140 something, like leading the league. Like, this is insane. And then, yeah, I mean, he's their leading rusher, and it's not like it's incredibly impressive what he's doing. Like, 18 carries for 125, averaging 6.9. I mean, but they're so bad behind him. Isaiah Pacheco, 3.7 a carry. Kareem Hunt, 3.5 a carry. And look, it's not all on those guys. It's their offensive line's not creating a lot of holes. They kicked Kings. Look, what they did on the offensive line. Remember Kingsley? He's their left tackle. And I'm going to give you a little shit. You wanted him last year, I think, Jim. I think you wanted him. They've already given up. They kicked him inside. Yep. He's their left guard now. He's probably their weakest link on their offensive line. They got, what's his name? I think he has a tackle. I saw his name. Yeah, Josh Simmons is their left tackle, and he's a rookie. He looks like he might, he turn into something, but he's a rookie. He's him and Creed Humphrey are probably their bright spots, but the rest of their offensive line struggles mightily. They don't create holes for these guys. Pat Mahomes has very little time. And then their receiving core, Hollywood Brown, 19 catches, only 170 yards for Hollywood Brown. You're averaging 9 when you have that kind of speed. Come on, Hollywood. That's pathetic. Now, the guy below him is what we should be seeing from Hollywood. Now, he has 9 catches, 10 less for the same amount of yards, and he's averaging 19. Now, that's the guy you got to worry about. He's their big play threat. He's got 2 touchdowns. Travis Kelce, he still finds a way to get open. He's still a problem with the ball in his hands, but he's not what he used to be. He's much slower, no doubt about it. Juju is not. Right? It's got to be it. It's got to be it. I've seen some real clunker plays from it, and the reason why is because he's on my damn fantasy team. So I find myself having to root for him, and I've seen him turn around, batted the ball up in the air and got intercepted. Like, I've seen some real stinker plays from Travis Kelce, but he still finds a way to get open, and he's still a problem when he gets the ball in his hands. Unlike anyone else, nobody else on the team scares you in any way with the ball in their hands. And if he's your scariest threat at that age, that's a problem for your offense. Juju is not Juju, what we used to remember him in Steeler uniforms. No, he's not that.
No.
They're a mess. They're a mess offensively, Jimbo. If our defense can't perform well, I don't care about the injuries. I do. But, Jimbo, they should be able to shut this team down. They stink.
Yeah, shoulda, coulda, woulda. I don't know what I'm supposed to say to you, Glenn.
If they can't, they should be able to lock these receivers up, man. With that secondary, and look, Pat Mahomes is Pat Mahomes.
Yeah, but Patrick Mahomes is going to be back there picking his nose.
He is.
Like,
he is.
Scratching his butt.
He'll have time. He will.
You know what I mean? So that's my concern. And that's my threat of this game, like defensively. Can we do anything to produce any pressure, any modicum of pressure on Patrick Mahomes? Because this is what's going to happen, Glenn. If we can't get pressure, he's going to have all day. If we blitz him, he's going to dice us up.
But he shouldn't be able to dice us up if we blitz, because we have how many first-round picks and how much money invested in our secondary. We should be able to man these dudes up. And, okay, you can run a single high safety. That's fine. But we should be able to blitz this guy, at least one additional guy. I don't see why not.
I'm with you. I was listening to Steve Harvey today on the Pivot podcast.
Steve Harvey, the comedian?
Yes. They had him on the Pivot podcast.
Okay.
And he was explaining how his daughter went to the junior prom when she was like 15, went with this boy. And he asked the boy, what time is the party over? Or is the prom over? He said 10. He said, I want her home by 10:30. He said, but Mr. Harvey, the after party starts at 11. And he was like, my daughter needs to be home at 10:30. Mr. Harvey, you don't understand. The party is just right upstairs in the same hotel.
Mm-hmm.
Son, my daughter needs to be home at 10:30.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, Glenn, I agree with you. I'm just going to tell you the same thing. That if we blitz, he's going to dice us up. And if we don't get pressure, he's going to dice us up.
Well, who's our hope? Oway?
I'm picking us to lose this game.
What?
I already did. And this was my first loss.
Hold on. I did. Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right. You did. Unbelievable.
I'm so disillusioned by the Baltimore Ravens. I couldn't listen to Kyle Hamilton anymore this week.
Oh, yeah.
I couldn't listen to a child talk to me about spoiled Ravens fans. You son of a gun weren't even thought of when half of the fans were still fans. What are you talking? How old is he? 20?
That was crazy.
Was he born in 99?
He might be a 2000er.
Yeah, like, dude, stop.
That was crazy what he said. Bro. Ravens fans are spoiled. I could see if we were being critical and they were, 10th, 12th. Bruh, you are 32nd.
Yeah, shut up and just work. Just shut up, take your licks, and work.
Yeah, that was insane. What he
it's
said
funny
was
to
insane.
me because this phrase is used a lot in my line of work, being, frontline sales. I'm a hunter. You are what the scoreboard says you are. But that is a sports analogy. Who said that? I think it was old Cowboys coach that started saying that. Anyway, Anyway, the point is like, dude, just like you said, Glenn, you are what the stats say you are.
That's it.
Kyle. So you shut up.
Yep.
Do you deal with our complaining? All of it, because it's reasonable. Your whole unit sucks right now. You are the worst in the league.
Yeah.
With an all-pro, you're the all-pro and you're on it and you guys still suck.
How many Pro Bowls are in that secondary?
Like, come on, man. Don't you dare talk to us about what's wrong with us.
Yeah. Spoiled fans. Stop it. Like, he's talking as if they're like 15th. Like, bro, you're dead last. Setting records of how bad they are. Like, setting records of how bad they are. And you come out.
It's in the Marlin crap.
Yeah, like, it was worse than Marlon. What he said was worse than what Marlon said. Calling us spoiled? Attacking your fan base? Like, that was not good. That was a bad move. I'm sure that they've already talked to him about it. That was absolutely insane. You can't. Yeah, Kyle, don't do that again. I don't care how well you're playing. You're 32nd. By the way, 32nd. And let me just say this. I saw something else that blew my mind when it comes to this defense. Here we go. Yeah, the Ravens also had 20 missed tackles in one game. So are we being crazy for going, hey, maybe you should tackle some people? And that's all. They're 32 and they're 32nd in yards. They're 31st in points. They allowed a 15-point fourth quarter collapse in 5 minutes. They surrendered the most points through 3 weeks in the franchise's history. And we're being spoiled?
Shut up, dude. Right? Like,
oh my gosh.
Bro. Anyway, meanwhile, I just saw this stat, and this is another conversation, but I won't dive too deep into this one, but I've seen it in our comments. Have you seen Mike McDonald, the 5th coach of all time to win 9 of his first 10 road games?
I don't want to hear it.
I know it's another conversation for another day, but yeah, the Kyle thing, that lit me on fire, dude. Stop. I don't even comment that much on Twitter anymore, but I had to.
Did you? I didn't even see it.
I did.
Okay, I got to pull that
Imagine
up.
this guy calling us spoiled while he plays a game for $100 million. Bro.
Yeah, that was a bad move, dude. I don't know what he was thinking, bro. Like, wow. That was insane. But yeah, I mean,
as much you care about us.
Yeah, it's fine. So back to their offense. I mean, again, I think they struggle. They're going to find ways to put points on the board. They're at home, but let's remember the Ravens are road favorites after their last loss. Just keep that in perspective. And those bookies, they all know the injury situation in Baltimore, and yet they're still making the Ravens road favorites. So that should tell you about you know, the Chiefs and the state of their team right now. I mean, their one win, our 1 win's against the Browns. Okay, well, their 1 win's against the Giants. And at least the Browns have one thing that is incredibly elite, and that's their defense. The Giants don't have anything that's elite. Like, I mean, well, they have Malik Neighbors. He's elite. But other than that, they don't have a unit that's elite like the Browns do. They have an entire deep side of the ball that's elite. So the Chiefs are not the Chiefs we're used to. However, it's still Pat Mahomes, and we could still lose. Okay, so Arizona did lose last night. That's right. He threw a last-second touchdown to Marvin Harrison Jr., but it didn't actually change the results of the game. You know, a lot of these games, I'm driven by my fantasy squad now. I'll be honest. Some of these games where I don't care about the two teams, like where it's a couple nothing burger teams, I'm just looking at my fantasy team and who I'm playing against. Now, of course, AFC matchups might be a little bit different, but we're talking about the Cardinals. But thank you for the correction because I was incorrect there. But yeah, so I think that the Ravens should be aggressive on defense. I think if you're going to go out, you go out swinging. If you are going to lose to them, don't let them sit back there and let them pick apart your zone or whatever kind of concept you want to run. Go after his ass, get him to the ground. Rely on that secondary that you spent all that money in draft capital, and let's see what they got. If you can't beat this group, then this secondary is trash because they are not good. They are just not good at all. But let's get into our over-under competition.
Yeah, well, Glenn, do you have any X factors defensively for this game really quickly before we move on? Because mine's Travis Jones.
Okay, yeah. Well,
because part of the reason why I'm picking him is because he has to be.
Yeah.
Like, we have he looked to his left and looked to his right. He might not even be able to name the guys.
Yeah.
At this point.
No, you're right. It's bad. It's bad. I mean, look, I don't want to double up with another front seven guy because I do think the secondary has to play well. But Odafe Owe, you're the big dog right now in the edge group. I know, Jimbo, you're the big dog, though. And you have the highest win rate as a pass rusher on the team. And so I know Jimmy is going to like to hear this, but I'm going to make Odafe Owe my X Factor player.
It's just unfortunate that we've come to this. I totally get it logically, right?
We need him to. We need him to put some pressure on this guy. And by the way, it'd be nice if the refs could actually call a false start on Juwan.
Keep pushing.
The guy does it every freaking play, it seems like, and they turn a blind eye to it. I don't get it.
Mm-hmm.
It's really crazy. But yeah, Blackula is looking for Mike Green. I think Mike Green will make plays if he's not asked to play. I mean, I hate how much they're playing. I mean, I know they have to because of the injuries, but I think it's affecting his pass rush because he's in there so much against rundowns as well. So we'll see. Oh, wait. Yeah.
Well, our over-under is exciting, of course, and you guys can participate in it every week. We do it here on the show and in between the three of us, but also it's a viewer competition. So as we go through our over-unders, be sure to submit your guesses, and the winner, of course, will get a T-shirt as soon as possibly mailed to you. Week pending. But all that being said, our sponsor for this week, of course, for the over-under, bringing you the competition, is our good friends over at Delete Me. Delete Me, of course, is an easy and quick and safe way to remove your personal data online at a time when surveillance and data breaches are common enough to make everyone vulnerable. This is absolutely the truth. Don't take it lightly. Data brokers make a profit off your data. All of your stuff is being moved around in the dark web, of course, because it is a commodity. They buy and sell it, of course, which it can lead to identity theft, phishing attempts, harassment, and otherwise. So if you want to protect your privacy, do so now with Delete Me. Look, take control of it. Keep your data and your private life private. Sign up with Delete Me now at a special discount. Of course, only for our viewers and listeners of the show, you get 20% off. But go ahead and join deleteme.com/hit and use promo code HIT, HIT, at checkout. The only way to get 20% off is go to deleteme.com/hit, enter code HIT. That's joindeleteme.com/hit, code HIT, hit.
Yeah,
all right,
buddy. Appreciate
competition. Guys, stay safe out there. Use Delete Me.
To my on the bad fly, trying to let they cast stock, homie, let them know you here. All my ladies that be mad high, get me off like mad lie. Shorty, let me get this clear. Okay, Baltimore the backdrop, rep it like a mascot. I'ma let them know we here. All my ladies.
Yeah, buddy. Shout out to the creator of that song, Dula Sincere, for providing us with some music for our over-under competition. But let's get right into it. Week 4's over-under. We start always with the offensive side of things, and this week is no different. So let's see. Week 1, our over-under number 1 is... Oh, Jimbo.
DK went right there. Right for the jugular, DK!
You know what? The positivity surrounding our over-unders is lost. Okay? It is lost, and you'll see why. But the Ravens fumbles lost 0.5 is where he puts it. Now, look, we've had more fumbles than we have had fumbles lost. But, of course, Derrick Henry alone every week this week or every game this year has gone over that by himself. So, Jimbo, where do you put it? Over, under 0.5?
Under. Derrick's going to bounce back. I don't think we're going to win this game. Derrick ain't fumbling the ball again.
Man, what do I put here? Oh, I'm going to go over. And I'm not saying it's Derrick, but something always happens when we're there. Something always happens, and it's going to be something again. I hope I'm wrong, but it always seems like it's freaking something. So I'm going to say over, and DK agrees. I think we do lose a fumble. I don't know who it is. I hope to goodness it's not Derek because, again, I don't know if he's going to handle it emotionally after what we saw from him last time. But I'm going to say over, and I hope it's not. I mean, I hope it is just the pessimist, inside me and not what really happens. So let's move on to the next one. The next one is Devontae Walker receptions. 1.5 is where the over-under is set. Jimmy, what say you?
I'm going over on this one. I feel optimistic, just like you talked about it, by his track record, by how they seem to be trying to constantly layer him into the game plan and give him more opportunities. I think he has 2 catches in this one.
I'm going to say under until I see it. I hope I'm wrong. I hope we see more of Devontae, but I'm going to say under and just until he proves to get a little bit more than, 1 or 2 targets a game. And I hope he does, because I think he's earned it. I think his big playability could really help open up this offense. So hopefully I'm wrong, but I'm going to say under, and DK says under as well. Moving over to the defensive side, first over-under is Ravens total sacks. 1.5 is where the over-under set. What do you say, Jimbo?
Under. It ain't happening. Mahomes doesn't take sacks. They allow the guys to hold and to get away with false starts. And you, Glenn, with good reason, are convincing us to count on Odafe Owe to get it done. So that's just, to me, the nail in the coffin.
Oh, man. I'm going to say under too. Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, until they show us that they can do something with this beat-up group of defensive linemen and edge guys, I can't. You said it. I mean, Mahomes isn't a guy who takes sacks, and he's taken more this year than I ever remember him taking. Certainly through 3 games, I think he has like 7 sacks surrendered, which is insane for him. Typically, he's incredibly good. No, 6 times. He's been sacked 6 times, which again is still high. He's one of the best at avoiding sacks and getting the ball out of his hand. So because of that, I say under as well. And DK agrees. So all 3 of us say under. Man, this has been a depressing over-under so far. Let's move on to the next one. Marlon Humphrey passes defense. 0.5 is where DK puts it. What do you think, Jimbo?
Yeah, I'm going with over on this one. Marlon is a good football player. He certainly, I don't think, was the worst part of our secondary last week. I mean, he was a rough part of it, but I guess people might disagree with me, but Marlon's going to get action. He's going to get in on the action. He stays around the ball. I think he's going to defend a pass.
Yeah, I mean, certainly going to have an easier matchup than last week. Amon-Ra St. Brown is, I mean, as far as slot receivers go, if you just want to put him there, even though he can go inside or outside, he's probably the toughest cover. I mean, that dude is big. He's strong. He's a fiery competitor. And Marlon got taken to school a little bit. But for this one, I'm going to say under. I think he doesn't have a bad game, but I don't think he's going to get a lot of opportunities to get his hand on the ball. And so for that reason, I say under. DK disagrees. He says over, just like you. So let's move into our tiebreaker. Total score over under 48.5 is where it's set. Now, Jimbo, I will say I saw the popular play for odds, or for the Sharks, is to always take the under when the Chiefs play at home. Typically their defense plays better and opposing offenses play worse. But I see you disagree, Jimbo.
Yeah, I'm going 34-21.
Dang.
Yep.
Say it.
Yeah,
say
Chiefs
the rest.
Chiefs win. And that's it. That's all she wrote, ladies and gentlemen.
We ain't getting blown out, bro.
Okay.
We ain't getting blown. In fact, we're winning this football game, Jimbo.
I so hope. I've never wanted to be wrong more in my life.
We're going to win
that
this
may not be true.
Game 27-20. Okay? So we will come up under the total by just a hair. But I think we win this football game on the road, 27-20. DK says over, but DK, I don't see a winner. I need a winner. Okay, all right. He's picking the good guys, Jimbo. Unlike you.
Mm-hmm.
Unbelievable. All right, well, how many yards are the Ravens going to have? Closest to the pin.
I'm going 380.
Whoa. Okay, well, I guess if you're saying they're going to get to 21, they got to have a couple yards. Got to have something. Man. I'm going to go 365. I'm penciling myself into a bad spot here, but I think I nailed it. Okay? I put myself right between you two. DK says 320. You say 380. I'm taking the inside course, But I think I got it right this time. I think we get 365 yards of total offense. I think we win the game. Matt Rasta says, you don't believe that we will win. Yes, I do. Yes, I do believe we will win. Yes. Yes. I believe. I believe
I'm glad.
that we will win. Yes, I believe it. I believe it. I know you don't believe it, Mad Rasta. I know. I think you do, actually. I think you think we'll win, and you're just doing this to save your emotions.
Me?
That's what you're doing. No, Mad Rasta.
Oh, okay. Because
no, we will not become distant. This is not the Orioles.
What happened?
He thinks we're going to become distant from the team.
No.
No. We'll be here. Win or loss.
Yeah, for sure.
We'll be here.
We'll see what happens, man. I'm hopeful that you are right. So very hopeful.
Yeah, I am too. It makes it a whole lot more fun doing this show when they're playing well. I will say though, if you guys look, if we do lose, even though it's hard, come see us for the post-game show. Win or lose, because it'll help you get over the loss. Commiserate with fans, complain, let your emotions be heard. And then, of course, if we win, we'll be here to celebrate and to laugh as the Chiefs go to 1-3 and the Ravens get back into contention at 2-2. Let's not forget, folks, the AFC North is a dumpster fire. The Bengals have already given up. The Browns have zero offensive ability and will eventually tire out that ridiculous defense to where they're not, what we saw in week 2. And the Steelers are, again, fraudulent as they have been for the last, decade, where, their record might tell you one thing, but look at them. Watch them. It'll tell you a new story. They're not that good. So the Ravens are still very much so in the race for the division. And then once they get in the playoffs, who knows what could happen. So let's not give up on our boys just yet. The Ravens are going to come back home 2-2, and then they're going to put a beat down on the damn Houston Texans and remind them of their place in the AFC. That's my prediction, Jimbo.
Let's go. I love it. Well, I think that's all we have tonight, folks. Like Glenn said, we'll be here after the game. No matter what the outcome, we'll hope that it's Glenn's predicted outcome and DK's as well. But make sure to participate in our over-under, of course, sponsored by Delete Me. Put your comments in anywhere on social media or in the comments of the show after the live is over. And we'll talk to you soon.
See you.